There are just a few hours left in the Minnesota legislative session, and lawmakers are working out the final details in several bills, one of them focusing on abortion laws, a bookend of the 2023 Minnesota legislative session. Abortion laws changed at the beginning of the Minnesota legislative session, and now they're changing at the end of the session as well.
Fox 9's Corin Hoggard live for us at the Capitol, where Democrats cut into this alternative favored by a lot of Republicans. Corin?
Yeah, Kelsey and Amy, the first bill filed in the House and the Senate this year established a fundamental right to abortion in Minnesota. That passed in January, and now on the last day of the session, Democrats are fine-tuning abortion law with one of the last bills they'll pass. The 2022 election gave Democrats a mandate to put abortion rights into state law, according to Mitchell Hamlin School of Law professor Laura Hermer.
Abortion is an essential topic right now with the repeal of Roe versus Wade.
Early bills made Minnesota abortion rights clear and shielded women who came from other states for abortions. On the last day of session, Democrats are also erasing the mandatory 24-hour waiting period, which a Ramsey County judge already struck down last summer. The Health and Human Services bill also eliminates some data collection, but keeps clinics reporting some basic patient information. And the bill repeals language forcing doctors to take measures to save the life of a child born alive during an abortion, leaving only what Representative Tina Liebling called comfort language.
It simply states the obvious that any infant that is born alive is a person.
Republicans bristled at most of the changes, but especially cutting grant funding to crisis pregnancy centers that encourage or counsel women not to have abortions. Republican Jim Abler argued the GOP left Planned Parenthood alone when they were the majority. He criticized Democrats for cutting crisis pregnancy centers as part of an 845-page bill brought to the Senate floor less than 11 hours after its completion.
Because you have all the votes and you get to throw this in the dark, try to run this through the Senate in a daylight. And I promise you it'll be well debated, and it might not even pass because we recognize the value.
The Senate did pass the omnibus bill earlier this afternoon. It's currently being debated in the House, where it is expected to pass very soon. Live at the Capitol, Corin Hoggard, Fox 9.
All right, Corin. Also, time could run out today on a bill designed to keep adequate nurse staffing at Minnesota hospitals. Two versions of the Keeping Nurses at the Bedside Act passed the House and Senate last month. Then came a threat from the Mayo Clinic to pull more than $1 billion worth of investment in Minnesota if that bill became law. Governor Tim Walz encouraged members to carve the Mayo out of the bill, and they did. The bill was scheduled for a Senate vote today, but it hasn't happened yet. And legislative leaders tell us they may not be able to pass it this session.
The legislature did make time for a massive investment in outdoor recreation, and it won't be funded by fee increases for fishing licenses. The Department of Natural Resources will get more than $420 million for projects like fish hatcheries and improvements to fish populations. State parks, trails, forests, and other public lands could see major improvements within a couple of years. And anglers can use 2 lines during ice fishing season now. The bill also eliminates age restrictions for hunting with crossbows.
A deal struck over the weekend means the state will double its investment in infrastructure. The capital investment bill just passed the Senate tonight, adding an extra $1.3 billion for things like roads and bridges, parks and police departments, and water treatment facilities. Now, Republicans had held up the borrowing portion of the bill as a negotiating tactic on other bills. The sides seemed to agree when Democrats offered to add an extra $300 million to help nursing homes.